The highly contagious nature of the Ebola virus and its dismal survival rate have caused many news organizations to steer clear of that region. John Moore is one of a handful of photojournalists who have made the trip to West Africa to cover the epidemic. He spoke with CCTV about the challenges of covering the outbreak, and Karina Huber has the story.
This is one of the scenes captured by Getty Images photographer John Moore on his recent trip to Liberia. It was taken in an isolation ward for people with Ebola symptoms.
There were dead bodies in the same room with living people. And as one man tried to walk out to another room, he was very sick, and he stumbled and fell down and hit his head. And there's a photograph with his wife standing over him, grieving, not sure what to do.
Moore spent 12 days in Liberia's capital, Monrovia. His lens was mainly focused on West Point, a slum that is home to more than 75,000 people that was recently quarantined in an attempt to contain an Ebola outbreak. Here he captures the plight of a young boy named Sa Exco.
I found him on a street one day surrounded by people who were afraid to touch him. Eventually, he was taken to a hospital that night, an isolation ward in another part of town. He survived the night and then died the next day.
Moore has seen his fair share of misery. In his 25-year career as a photojournalist, he has covered numerous wars and natural disasters.
In a spot news environment, you shoot pictures of what's happening in front of you. But when it's a more sensitive environment, in people's homes, in isolation wards, you try to get some sort of consent, because people are in one of the most difficult times of their lives, and I don't want to make it harder for them.
Covering the epidemic also presented unusual challenges.
In other places, I've taken bulletproof vest, a helmet, ways to keep safe. In this particular occasion, I bought anti-contamination suits. We'd go into these infected places, and when I came out, all the pieces came off in a specific order as well. The gloves, the coveralls, and I was being sprayed down with disinfectant the whole time in order to make sure that I did not contaminate myself.
And to ensure he didn't contract the virus and transmit it to anyone, Moore put himself into a semi-quarantine when he returned home to New York. For 10 days, he refrained from hugging loved ones and shaking hands just to be extra careful. Karina Huber, CCTV, New York.